Hey YouTube, Dan back with another video. Don't really remember how long it's been since I've done one of these, but I figured, today I'm feeling good. I got Kermit the Frog shirt on. I've been playing Assassin's Creed 3, which I just got if you saw over on Instagram. I also picked up the new Donkey Kong Country Returns for the 3DS. I've been playing that a little bit. And I gotta get ready for work, but I just wanted to stop for a minute, talk to you guys in the YouTube community, because I just launched a new blog over on WordPress. It's 1138geekconfessions.wordpress.com. That's 1138geekconfessions.wordpress.com. Head on over to that, check that out. I got a whole post over there about how I got into comics and my thoughts on the New 52 now that we're about 2 years into it. For the New 52, I didn't really elaborate as much as I wanted to, but I'm going to use this video as kind of a springboard to elaborate. And, I got my Twitter feed, twitter.com/Dan Stransky. Follow that. I push all my blog posts out to that. All my Instagram stuff, I push everything out through there. Even these YouTube videos you may have found through Twitter or another form of social media. Anyway, on to the topic of the video at hand, because I don't have a lot of time. How I got into comics. It is really hard for me to trace the exact moment when I started reading comics, because as long as I've been alive, I have liked reading comics, things in the comic form, especially the comics in the Sunday paper. Disney Magazine used to put out the comic editions every day. They were little digest-sized things filled with comics based on the characters in the TV series that were out. And, I really enjoyed reading those, so I've always liked reading that. And then in middle school into high school is when I really started getting into it, and I started buying trade paperbacks occasionally. Not, obsessively like I do now, but occasionally. The first one I remember picking up, it was at one of the school book fairs, and it was Spider-Girl. Now, don't you laugh at me. Spider-Girl was a fantastic series. It was set in an alternate timeline, and it told the story of Peter and Mary Jane's daughter. I think it was 18 years, she was 18 years old in the story, and it tells, her adventure. Peter lost a leg to the Green Goblin. He's working as a cop. It was a great series, and I picked up some of the digests for that over the years and read them. Marvel is doing the Marvel Now initiative. I really wish they would bring back Spider-Girl as one of the Marvel Now series. I'd read it in a heartbeat. Compared to the bullshit they have now, like, Superior Spider-Man. But, so I always enjoyed reading that. And then into high school, I actually found what is to this day one of my favorite trade paperbacks. It's Batman The Long Halloween. And I'm forgetting the names of the writers. I think it's Tim Sale and Joseph Leo. I could be wrong. I'll clarify that later. But that, to this day, is one of my favorite trade paperbacks I've ever read of anything. And then in 2011, I started working at the mall over in Mays Landing in a store. And a couple doors down, there was a comic book shop. And I kind of just wandered in one day, and I started talking to the guys in there. And, it was a comic store, a video game store. And I had read Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash when a friend had loaned me the trade paperback of that. So when the new series started, I wanted to pick that up. And the store I picked it up at, Hall of Heroes, they were good for issue 1, they were good for issue 2, issue 3 they were sold out, and then issue 4 the store was gone. So I never got to finish that, and I told the guys at the comic store at the mall, I don't really want to get invested in something if I don't know for sure you guys are going to be here for the next millennium. I don't want to, come in one day and find, oh, you sold out of the issues, you don't have any left. Well, damn it for me. So they told me about a feature they had called a comic book pull bin, which I wound up setting up with them. A lot of series I follow. Batman, Nightwing, Green Lantern, Flash, Aquaman. I wound up setting up Justice League later after I read Volume 1 of that trade. That's a fantastic series. It's written by Jeff Johns, who actually just finished his run on Green Lantern. And I have a stack of comics I have to catch up on, so I haven't had a chance to read his final issue yet, but I'm going to catch up on that, because Jeff Johns, fantastic writer, did 9 years on Green Lantern, almost a decade, came to an end. We're going to miss you. And, so that was kind of my transition into becoming a real comic book reader when I found out about the pull bins, and then I started buying graphic novels, trade paperbacks, and it just spiraled from there. I always enjoyed superhero video games, superhero movies. This was completing the process for me. Now, as far as the New 52 goes, seeing as we're about 2 years into it now, I like it. hear me out. I don't like some of the continuity changes that were made. Don't think I'm forgetting about all the old stories, because I still respect all the old stories. But it had to be done. Don't chastise me for that. It had to be done. Because it's hard for a new reader like me, which I was back in 2011, to jump on, 600 or 700 issues into a series. There's just too much that's been missed. But if you've got a nice issue 1 to start at, you're going to attract more readers. So I understand where DC has come from when they decided to do a little bit of a reboot, make things easier on new readers, give a good jumping on point, make things easier on the writers, tone down some of the continuity, give a chance to rewrite history a bit, because there's only so much you can do after you write yourself into X amount of corners. That's unfortunately what happened with Spider-Man over at Marvel. But that's a whole nother rant for a whole nother day. And, they had the mistakes they made. There were some things they changed I didn't appreciate. Some things they changed I did appreciate. And as far as I'm concerned, it could have been executed better, but it wasn't a totally horrendous move on DC's part. It was kind of smart, from a business standpoint. I'm liking the New 52. I'm liking what I'm seeing from it. I would love to be able to see stories like the old days. Some of the characters really need to be redone, but overall, I'm liking it. So, that's kind of my thoughts on the New 52 a little bit, and how I got into comics. Check out Twitter, twitter.com/Dan Stransky. Check out the blog, 1138geekconfessions.wordpress.com. Subscribe to this YouTube channel for more videos. I'm going to embed a copy of this on my blog. Share this, like it, share it, give it to all your friends, let everybody know about it, because I really want to give you guys a community where the geekiness never ends. Until next time, this is Dan signing off.